Hello, and welcome to those who are joining us right now. We will begin the webinar in a couple of minutes and give people time to join. Thank you. Well, hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. We see a few more participants joining, so I'll go ahead and kick off the webinar. My name's Janice Crowell, and I'm a program manager with Temple University Small Business Development Center. The Temple SBDC helps small businesses start, grow, and succeed. We do this through our no-cost consulting and a variety of no-cost webinars and training programs like the one you are attending today. Thank you for joining us for our Google webinar. This is part 2. We are recording today's session, and a copy of that recording will be sent to you in a follow-up email. All attendees have been muted, so we encourage you to post any questions in the chat or Q&A. I will now turn this over to our speaker, Soleil Meade, who is a Grow with Google coach, and Vicki, who is also joining us with Google. Soleil and Vicki, over to you.
Thank you so much, Janice. I am so excited to close out this workshop. We did part 1 yesterday, excuse me. And we shared so much information. I cannot tell you how many emails I've gotten from people who sent over their brand positioning statement. It was an exciting time, and I'm hoping that we have that same type of energy today. My name is Soleil Meade, and I am your Pennsylvania Grow with Google digital coach. I am really excited to be here with you today to present part 2 of Launch Your Business with Customer Focused Marketing. So again, my name is Soleil Meade. I am your Pennsylvania Grow with Google digital coach. I am also the CEO of Soleil Branding Essentials. It is a full service branding and marketing agency. So anything from your graphic design, logo creation, website development, brand strategy, and marketing for your business, I help small businesses and nonprofits and even communities solidify that information and expand and grow their brands. So naturally, my role as a digital coach and my role in branding and as a specialist really helps me to help small business owners and visionaries really all together bring their vision to life. And that is what I am passionate about doing. Today, I am joined by who I affectionately call my Google bestie, Vicki Sepulveda. She is the Texas Grow with Google digital coach. Vicki has been pivotal to me as coming in a little shy of 3 years being with the digital coaches program. Vicki has been with the program since its inception. So she is a wealth of knowledge when it comes to really anything Google, especially the digital tools that we provide. She is an international speaker, a serial entrepreneur, and so much more. The reason why we share who we are is to let you all know that you are being trained and taught by small business owners just like you. And we are accessible to you as the coaches for your state. It is very important that we create a space that you feel comfortable in, that you can ask questions in, and that ultimately you feel like you're growing and taking some action with your business. So Vicki has dropped both of our information in the chat. So you can go ahead and grab our contact information and save it somewhere for you if you want to reach out with any questions, or anything that you might have regarding the workshops that you attend. Also, I do want to invite you to follow our digital coaches page on Instagram. Vicki has dropped that information as well. Please, if you are intrigued at any point of this workshop, take a screenshot and share it to social, and let's just spread the news and get the opportunity of these amazing resources that Temple SBDC offers, as well as Google, free of charge, to really help small business owners grow and thrive. So I want to let you know that today a lot is going to be happening in the chat. So if you don't have access to the chat, you want to go ahead and click on that chat button and get it open. We already have some of our participants introducing themselves. I love that. Networking is so important. So make sure you go ahead and drop your contact information and your business information in the chat. Make sure you include where we can connect with you at, whether it's LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram or even your website. I get a thrill to go back to my notes and go and share and connect with the participants that are a part of the workshop. So make sure you drop that information. We are going to be talking in the chat. That is where you can ask all your questions, or as Janice stated, you can also ask them in the Q&A and we will get to them. So let's go ahead and get into the agenda for today. So part 2 of this workshop, we are going to recap what the customer journey is and how marketing influences the customer journey and the decisions that they make to really connect with your business. But we are going to focus today primarily on the conversion phase. That is whenever you actually make a sale, whenever that customer makes the choice to buy your product or your service, and how we can make sure that we are showing up in the best way and making it as easy as possible for a customer to convert. And then lastly, we are going to focus on the 4th part of the customer journey, which is to sustain them. It is creating sustainability and loyalty to your brand. And we're going to talk about some ways that you can infuse into your business that will create brand loyalty and encourage people to advocate and tell other people about the brand and the services and the product that you represent. So that is what is going to be our focus today. And then we'll do a recap and resources. So we're going to kick off similar to yesterday and talk a little bit about the customer journey. And we are also going to kick it off with a quote. So this quote says, "It is much easier to double your business by doubling your conversion rate rather than doubling your traffic." So I'm very curious, hearing that quote, anyone can drop it in the chat. Why do you think that Brian Eisenberg is saying this? It's easier to double your business by doubling your conversion rate than doubling your traffic. Why is he saying that? Anybody have an idea? Drop it in the chat and let me know. I'm waiting for a response. I don't want to take anyone's thunder. So Donald says, because it's easier to use with resources that you already have. Absolutely. That is a great answer. And to add to that, the resources that you have when you speak of doubling your conversion rate, those are resources that you have. If someone converts, they already believe in you. They're already ready to try your product or your service out. So it absolutely is better to focus on doubling your conversion rate because you've already made an impact on whoever you converted. When you look at your traffic, those are the people that are still in that consideration stage. They are still just checking out your website, or they may have visited once but not made the decision. So when we look at marketing and the customer's journey, we as the entrepreneurs and small business owners want to make sure we're focusing on, like Donald said, the resources that we have, the insight that we have. And someone who is a part of our conversion rate is someone who already believes in us and is willing to try what we have. So thank you so much for that answer, Donald. So here we have why marketing is important. And this is a recap from yesterday, but we want to talk about these 3 tips. So why marketing is important and what it is. Marketing is literally that effort that you put in to make meaning for your customers. Yesterday, our quote was, marketing is making meaning for your customers. Like, it's not about making a sale, it's about creating meaning. How do they have connection to you? So the first point is to create meaning. What does your brand mean to your customers? What does your product mean to them? How do you tell the story of your brand? How do you tell the story about the impact and the transformation that your product or service can have on someone's life? So you really want to look at it from that lens. Once you start to answer those questions, and even if you jot down your answers to those questions, that begins to come very valuable engagement content for you. You can use it on your social media. You can use it when you're talking to someone about your business, but you are creating meaning and connection. Meaning and connection is really what helps that customer go from the awareness stage and end up at the loyalty stage. Because in the beginning, if you can make them believe in you and connect with them, then and as long as you deliver on your quality of products and services, it's going to make a lasting impact. The second thing we want to look at when we talk about what marketing is building relationships of trust and credibility. We want trust and credibility to be the foundation of our relationship. So when we market our business, whenever we create our branding or new visuals for a new campaign or a collection that we're running, we are thinking about, how can I showcase this in a way that makes people know that they can trust us? You want to not only do that with your products and services, but the overall foundation of your brand. If you build a relationship with the customer that's on the journey and they're enjoying the relationship, they're likely going to stick around and stay with you. And then the final point is influencing your customer along the journey. So you don't just want to influence them at the awareness stage and the consideration stage. Why? Because those stages are when they're trying to decide whether they're going to pick you. They are literally evaluating your business in those stages. So you want to influence them there, but you don't want to stop influencing them once they convert. You want to hear their feedback about your products. You want to hear how you can better serve them within the products and services that you offer. So again, when you think about marketing, I don't want you to just think about visuals and being relevant on social media and keeping up with the trends. All of those parts are very important, but I want you to get, if you don't take away anything from this 2-part series, I want you to get the importance of expressing the heart of your brand and connection to your customer more than anything. Let that be the foundation of your marketing mindset. And I promise you, your business will really soar and you will find yourself having more customers go through the journey. So let's do a quick recap from yesterday. Before I get into it too deep, yesterday we talked about awareness and consideration. And I would like anyone who was here yesterday to drop in the chat what you've done in your business since yesterday. And I know several of you have done something, because we threw out a challenge that if anyone emailed me a brand positioning statement that they had for their business, then they would be able to get entered into a drawing and a drawing for a prize for this month. And several people went ahead and emailed me their brand positioning statement. So you see, we have a couple people who did the statement. We have Donald who secured social media accounts. That's awesome. So keep that coming. Yesterday was really powerful. We talked about the importance of your reach, the importance of knowing who your customer is and reaching them where they're at. We don't want to have a product that's available for everybody. Everybody is too broad of a scope. We want to really narrow down by looking at market segmentation, looking at demographics, psychographics, geographics, and even behavioral segmentation, so we can understand our customers more. So that's the first part in the journey. The second part is, now because you understand them, then now you begin to create marketing and build your brand off of what they need, off of the problems you need to solve for them, and off of what makes them feel connected to your brand. So when you move into the consideration phase, you are now engaging with them based off of what you know. So that is absolutely what we did in the first part. And I see there's a question in the chat. Where would you recommend we post the brand positioning statement? So your brand positioning statement is perfect content for your website. It's great content for your social media pages, for LinkedIn. Typically what you'll find is that a lot of people will put their like mission and vision statement on their website, which isn't a bad thing, but a brand positioning statement is something that speaks to the customer. Remember, we started this whole process talking about the customer's journey. Your website, especially, along with your other marketing tools, should speak to the customer. That's who it's for. So I would absolutely recommend that you add it to your website and your social media sites, just like Vicki said. And for everyone who is asking about a recording, you will, as long as I believe you are registered for yesterday's workshop, you'll get a recording of yesterday and today's workshop. Also, the Temple SBDC YouTube page is a great resource for your videos. They post those videos on their YouTube channel, so you can go back and watch them at any time. So let's jump in on what we are going to focus on today. So we are going to focus on purchase, which is that conversion stage. This is where someone who is in the consideration stage is considered a lead. So, you know, the person that is considering your business, scanning through your pages, comparing you to other brands and businesses, they are considered a lead. But the moment that they go ahead and finalize that purchase, we have now converted them from a lead to an actual customer. We're going to focus and talk about that today. And then we're lastly going to talk about advocacy. And this part is so important. We don't want one-time customers, right? I mean, one-time customers are cool, but we don't want an influx of one-time customers. We want customers that will come back. And not only will they come back and buy from us again, they're telling someone else about what it is that we offer and why they should consider being a customer. So let's go ahead and look at another business that we would like to showcase that has done this customer journey pretty well. So I'm going to read to you a little bit about Tracy and Danny, who are the founders of Wicked Good Cupcakes. So they are a mother-daughter team, and they are the owners of Wicked Good Cupcakes. So in 2010, they took some cake decorating classes, and then they became really passionate about the business, and then they opened their first store in 2011. So as their reputation grew and they received a ton of shipping requests, they were like, we can't find a way to ship cupcakes and have them arrive fresh and intact. So they had a great idea. They were going to put their cupcakes in mason jars. So they would fill the jars with layers of cake, frosting, and filling, and then a cupcake would stay fresh for 10 days. And then they were also able to easily ship that cupcake out. So then 2013, that's a couple years of them kind of probably testing out their big idea and doing some case studies on it and testing on it. And then they went on Shark Tank in front of 10 million TV viewers. And then they had success on Shark Tank, and then they became the go-to site to buy unique baked goods online. So we are going to be following Wicked Good Cupcakes throughout this presentation today. I think their story is absolutely amazing. It shows the work that we have to do behind the scenes to, number one, to switch gears when we need to. And yesterday we talked about listening and learning from our customers. And that's exactly what Tracy and Danny did. They heard their customers saying, we want to ship this. Again, that's advocacy. I had your cupcakes. I came into your store, but I want to send some to my mom. And they begin to take all those requests and hear what their customers were asking for and create a solution to it. That's how we remain relevant, and we begin to really show our dedication to serving our customers with the skill set that we have in our business and our brand. So let's talk a little bit more about how they took their business to new heights. So whenever they went on Shark Tank, that created that brand awareness about them, and it also showed that they were actively engaging with their customers. So now their next step was to increase their purchases. So now they probably had an influx of new followers and things of that nature. So how do we increase our purchases and turn them not only to one-time customers because they saw us on Shark Tank, but how do we make them loyal brand advocates for us? So then they started to focus more on the purchase and advocacy side of their customers' journey. They realized that they needed to learn more about their customers to see what opportunities they had to make their website, their social media site, and even their engagement better with their customers. And they also wanted to make sure that they were giving customers the space to be able to not only return and purchase from them again, but to hear from them. They realized the importance of listening and hearing their customers. So they created experiences for them to do so. So let's go ahead and jump in to the third phase in the customer journey, which is converting our customers and paving the way for them to actually make a purchase. So it is our job to influence the leads that we have, to kind of influence them in a way where they are actually taking a step to become paying customers. And that is what we call conversion. So Vicki dropped a prompt in the chat, and I want to ask you now, have you created a marketing strategy for your conversion phase? If you have, type 1 in the chat. If you have not, type 2, and then you all know how we did it yesterday. If it's something that you're like, it's probably something I need to work on, you can give me a 3 in the chat. So I see some of you have created them already, but most of you have not. So this coverage on this conversion phase is going to be critical for you, because now it is going to give you some ideas on how you can better move someone from a lead to an actual customer. So let's go ahead and get into it. And for those of you who have created marketing strategies for your conversion, if you have any tips for your fellow entrepreneurs online, go ahead and drop those tips and share it, because you never know how it will help someone else. So whenever we talk about converting customers, we need to figure out which leads are most likely to become customers, and then we focus our marketing efforts on them. Very similar to how we created the customer persona yesterday. Whenever you create the customer persona, now you know exactly who you are attempting to market to. So now you can create all of your marketing efforts and your advertisements to them. So you want to keep that same mindset when you're looking at converting a lead to a customer. You, in essence, want to see how is it, like, who are you, and what is it about you that has you being interested in becoming a customer of mine, and how can I focus on making this decision the easiest decision for you? So what you have to do is you have to identify the actions that the customer is taking in order to lead to that conversion. So you want to make sure that you are putting the right messages out there. Like, for instance, we talked about call to actions yesterday. If we tell someone to, sign up for our newsletter or book a consultation or give us a call, the actions that they're taking is going to ultimately encourage the purchase. So if your action is for them to give you a call and they actually call, that's telling you something about that customer. It's telling you that they are interested enough to the point where they are going to request a call from you. So if they're at that point, they probably already read some of the messaging that you have. They may be somewhat versed on your brand, and now you have to pretty much seal the deal with your call. So let's go ahead and look at how to identify key actions and customers that are primed for conversion. So whenever you look at key actions, you have to know that some of these examples will vary based off of your business. So you want to think about what are the actions that you want people to take in regards to your business. So if you are a service-based business, then you would not want your key action for them to scan a QR code in your store, because you don't have a store for them to scan a QR code on. You might not want them to visit, like, your key action might not be for them to visit the actual store that you have, right? So you want to make sure that your key actions are relevant to your business. So that's number one. But let's go over some common ones to get you all thinking about what might work for your business. So one of them might be signing up for your email list or newsletter. You might want them to complete a form to request a quote, or like your intake or discovery form to learn a little bit more about them to see if it's a good fit. You might have them download content. Have you ever been on a site where you see the freebies that they'll offer? So if you have a business that is focused on, let's say, in the childcare industry, then maybe you create your top 5 tips to get your kids ready for the new school year. And that is something that you have them download. And then you get all these emails of people who downloaded your content. And now you are creating customers based off of the action they took. Now, I have customers who have kids that started back to school this year, and I want to make sure that I am converting these people into an actual sale to give them whatever more you have to help them be better parents, or so on and so forth. So you can also have them sign up for a trial or a demo. If you have a storefront, you can offer samples and then get direct feedback there. So there are so many different things that you can do, but I want you all to remember that, again, all of these key actions won't happen online. They can be online, but they can also be in person. Like, for instance, you see Wicked Good Cupcakes has a truck. They have a cupcake truck, not a food truck, but a cupcake truck. And one of their key actions is to get people to come to the cupcake truck. So another thing that Wicked Good Cupcakes did was that they noticed that they had some people who were website visitors, but they were putting items in their cart, but they weren't completing the actual purchase. So if I go as far as to put something in a cart, it's really showing that I'm interested and I want to buy it. So then what your key action can be is to maybe send them a coupon. I see you left something in the cart. Here's a 10% coupon for your first purchase. So you want to make sure that you're observing these actions and creating key actions that are based off of what you see happening in your business. So once you identify customers that are ready to make a purchase, now you want to create content and call to actions that help them to convert. So we talked about that a little bit already, but you might create a discount or a deal just for them. Maybe you have an exclusive offer. Wicked Good Cupcakes sent coupons to those people who what we call abandoning their cart. A lot of times your your website platforms already have something set up where you can go ahead and automate an email to go out for people who have abandoned their carts. If you want a more like VIP feel, maybe you offer something exclusive for people who are ready to make a purchase. You want to think about what else you could offer as like a value added service. If it's free shipping or a free tutorial, in addition to whatever might be in their cart or whatever they may be considering. So you want to think about those things. Also, testimonials from your customers. Like you can share those, and you sharing with what one of your loyal customers said about their customer journey might seal the deal for the next potential customers. You can also use like email marketing as a way to advertise your business and your brand, like through Google ads. And we'll talk about that a little bit more later. And then the other thing that you want to be extremely aware of is streamlining your purchase process. I want you all to drop an exclamation point in the chat for me if you have ever been in a position where you are interested in buying something, but it was complicated to check out. Like they sent you an email, they told you you can use the code, but you couldn't find where you can put in your code to get your 10% off. So if all of you just for one moment can think about the times in which you became frustrated as a customer, because we are all consumers as well. What we want to do is whatever's on that list of the things that frustrate you, y'all, explanation points are still coming. That's because we get it, like we've been there. So whatever frustrates you on your list, it is our responsibility to take that list and make sure none of that exists in our purchase process, because we don't want to lose a sale because someone is having trouble navigating through our purchase process. So these 3 quick steps are pivotal and will really help position you to make sure that you are not missing sales based off of a very tedious and unpleasant production of, really finalizing a sale. So the one thing you want to do is reduce the number of checkout steps. How many of you, give me explanation points again. How many of you felt forced to sign up or create an account on a sale that you wanted to do, to the point where they asked so many questions, you were like, forget it, I'm not doing it? Put an explanation point in the chat. Yes, I see them coming. So for us on the back end, I get why you would want someone to sign up as a customer, because you want to, get their information, because you buying from me is saying that you believe in my product. But we also have to be balanced to make sure that we are not overwhelming our potential client and customer. So you want to reduce the number of checkout steps. You want to maybe consider offering guest checkout. Nowadays, most of the website platforms that you have, anyone that makes a sale, you're going to have to get some information from them. Usually the email is absolutely required in order to purchase something. So you'll have their email. Instead of making them give you all this information up front, send them an email after they make the purchase and show you want to learn more about them and engage with them. And that is a good way to navigate that. So the other thing that you want to do, and we talked about this already, is to provide value added services or benefits. So if you want to do free shipping, or maybe you're offering a free handout or something like that in addition to what they purchased already, that really helps to streamline the process. Also, recommendations about other products that they might like may help to convert them as well. If you sell beauty products and I am interested in your lotion because a group that I'm in is raving about it. If whenever I'm about to check up, I see that you also have a body scrub and a soap, then I may be more interested in buying the whole package because I'm already kind of motivated and encouraged to get what you have because I've heard great things already. So you want to think like that. So let's talk about Google Analytics. So Google Analytics is a free software that you can use to really understand what your customers are doing on your website or your mobile app. It is absolutely so important to have, especially when you're looking in this phase of conversion, because Google Analytics is going to help you understand how people find your site, how they interact on your site once they're there. If you notice that they are on this explore our brand page where you talk about, how you started your brand and what sets it apart from others, then now you're learning that, man, a lot of my customers want educated. I have a educated, driven customer base, then that's going to tell you something. And then your social media graphics will serve that education, and different things will help to serve it. Vicky dropped a prompt in the chat and I want to hear from you. If you have a Google Analytics account, let us know. Type 1 for yes, 2 for no, or 3 for no, but it's on my list. So I see we have some people who have it, some people who don't, and it's on their list. Some people who have it but don't know what to do with it. I highly recommend that you attend any of our analytics workshops. I don't have one scheduled as of right now, but I'm almost positive. I've done some with Temple SBDC in the past. So if you go to your YouTube page, you can watch that. But let's dive into a little bit more on how analytics can help you to better convert a client or a customer. So one of the things is that Google Analytics actually will provide to you a conversion report. So you are going to see whether the completion of some type of business action that you set, like a purchase, how it has been done, and the different channels that actually created that. For instance, if somebody buys something on your site, you're going to be able to see kind of like the course in which they took on your website to buy it, as well as where they came from. So if you go to your conversion report and you see that you've ran a Google ad to help promote this new product that you have, it's going to tell you if that's a channel where people came from. And then that's going to give you the insight that this Google ad is actually working to create sales for my business. So the conversion report is going to let you measure those key actions that you identified already and to see how well they're working. If you have an email sign up, then you're going to be able to tell from your conversion report that, 80% of your traffic came from your email sign up page. That is telling you that this is working and people are being led to it. And it's going to tell you how they got there as well. So we talked about analytics, but I also want to talk about ads. I mentioned ads in the last slide. So say you were running an ad for your business, analytics is going to be able to tell you kind of if that ad is working well for you, and you can make both of them talk. So analytics is free, but Google Ads, you can start a smart campaign and set your own budget. And the ads is going to allow you to take all of the knowledge that you have gotten from these last 2 workshops to help you to define your brand positioning statement. We talked about creating your customer persona and creating messaging that speaks to them. So now you're going to put this all in a dynamic ad that speaks directly to your customer. It calls them to action. You already have your website set up and your key action that you want them to take. And then you're able to create this campaign to engage with them. You can specify the geographic area, because remember, you set that already. So you can go ahead and get all of that information set and ready and share that in your ad. So I don't know if, I think Vicki might have put it in the chat already, but I am curious, have any of you ran Google Ads for your business? Type a 1 for yes, a 2 for no, or a 3 for no, but it's on my list. So let me know. So it looks like a lot of you haven't ran ads. And I did a workshop last night, and one of the things that I want to impress upon you is that if you haven't written an ad before or put one out before, I want you to really think about the importance of pacing yourself to do that. There's so much work as far as like creating your brand positioning statement, the messaging and the visuals, like all of those things are important. So we don't want anyone to go rush and create an ad tomorrow just because they are excited about it. As long you can do that, as long as you have the time today to really flush out the strategy behind your ad so you can make it as impactful as possible. You're looking at your insights to see. Yesterday, we had someone who used Google Trends for their faith-based fashion company, and Google Trends told them that California and New York were the top 2 states where those words were coming up. So whenever you think about running an ad, then she might want to run an ad for her new collection in those areas because they are popping up top on a Google Trends search. So again, ads have a lot of strategy to them, but they're very powerful. When you connect your ads and your analytics account, it allows you to directly, like the information from the ads feeds into your analytics so you can get reports on how your ad is performing. So I have an activity for you all, and I want you all to make a note to do this. So I want you all to brainstorm some key actions for conversions. We talked about what are the actions that you want a potential customer that we're looking to convert into a customer, a lead into a customer. What do you want them to do? If anyone has thought about key actions since we talked about it, drop it in the chat for me right now. What is the key action for conversion for your business? I want you to drop anything that you think might work for you in the chat right now, but I do want you to take the time and make that comprehensive list. Thank you, Christine. She said she wants a phone call for a consultation. So that is awesome. That's a great call to action. It means that you are ready to seal the deal whenever that call comes through, or whenever you get that request for a consultation form filled out on your website. So yes, so I want you all to make that list. I'm going to pause for a moment and see if there are any questions at all before I move into the last portion, which is advocacy for that. If you have questions, you could drop them in the chat, and I'm going to just do a quick check-in with Vicki to see if there were any questions that I may have missed and need to address. Vicki, do we have anything?
So earlier, John had a question on websites, and so I did share your information again, and then I dropped 14 tips in the chat on what to do for your website. So like, have a plan, don't use stock images, all that.
Yes.
But on this topic, we're good.
Awesome. So John, there are specific workshops that we do based off of websites. I'm pretty sure I've done some of them with Temple, and that's the great thing with Temple and why I keep referencing the YouTube page, because they actually leave those recordings up. So I would highly suggest that you kind of check that out. And they also have other speakers that present great content as well on that area. I do believe that some of our other workshops, like Make Your Website Work for You and understanding the importance of a domain and a hosting site might have more information based off of your question. You can also make sure you sign up for my newsletter, and that will keep you up to date on when I'm offering some of those workshops again. And also all of the digital coaches, we're all offering workshops every month. So you can always hop in someone else's website focused workshop and get some more information on that as well. And if you have any questions directly, you can always reach out to me as well, John. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and move on. I love to see the key actions you all are going to take, create value between the final purchase, maybe putting some recommendations up, the abandoned cart feature. So I love that we have you all thinking about the actions that you want your customers to take. So let's talk about the good part. Now you've made a purchase. We're excited. We're boxing our stuff off and shipping it out with a smile. But how do we keep this person? How do we keep them coming back for more? And that's what we're going to talk about here in this final section. So whenever we talk about the sustain area or the advocacy area, like, how do they become loyal customers to us? And I want to hear from you. Tell me a brand that you are a loyal customer or an advocate for. Not only do you buy everything that they have, but you find yourself buying gifts from this place for other people. You find yourself referring other people to it. Let me know. Someone said Dove, Avita. One of mine is a local Black woman-owned business called Soleil Meade. Drop your local ones too. So Soleil Meade is like this exclusive band of primarily women who buy these beautiful, luxurious handmade beads, and I find myself buying them for other people and inviting people to the exclusive VIP page where you can get first dibs on offers. We got a regular choice, my Buddha Babe, Smoothie Den. So now that you're dropping some of your ideas, tell me why you love this particular place. What made you become an advocate for them? Drop that in the chat. So when we look at the sustain area, the fourth area of, and the fourth and the last area of our customer's journey, we want to look at a couple of things. We want to look at how important it is for us to build their loyalty, not just by creating value, but creating, again, meaning for them. We want to look at sustaining them through different programs, loyalty programs, different incentives. Maybe you give a birthday, a birthday coupon or a special discount for birthdays, and also advocacy. How are they talking about your business to others? We want people that naturally become brand ambassadors because they're in love with our business and our brand. So let's talk about loyalty. Customers' loyalty is everything. Someone mentioned that Dove is a brand that they love. And I mean, if I had the time, I would Google how many different skincare product lines similar to Dove there are, and there are probably thousands, right? But that person loves Dove. So you want to build that loyalty where not only do I love Dove body wash, but I also love their deodorant, and I love their powder, and I love their body butter, and I love their scrub, and honestly, whatever new thing they come out with, I'm going to buy, right? Don't we want to create that type of loyalty with our customers? No matter what they come out with, I'm in. So whenever we think about that, how do we create that loyalty? So Vicky dropped a prompt in the chat about loyalty programs. Have you ever been involved in one? If you have, let me know. And then I dropped some of my favorites. So Chick-fil-A, they get me every time. Sephora, like every time. TJ Maxx with the bonus bucks after you spend so much money. You're pretty much just spending money in order to get perks, but they have great marketing and they have us. But it's not just the fact that they have the loyalty program, but there's these other there's other areas they're thinking about. They're staying in touch with us. You don't just buy from Chick-fil-A and then never hear from them. Well, at least if you have the app, you're definitely going to hear from them. They are staying in touch with you, not just in a digital way or online, but they have ways for you to share your feedback whenever you're eating in a restaurant and things of that nature. Customer service is a way to really, really build up solid loyalty. If you treat your customers well, not just whenever they have a problem, but naturally it's ingrained in your setup to give good customer service, then that's going to make an impact on someone. Asking for feedback is also very, very important. Then one of the things that I want to remind you all to do is when you start doing these things, when you ask people for feedback, whenever you are providing customer service, continually improve by following up on it. So if someone gives you feedback, follow up with them. If they tell you that they want to explore a hybrid scent in whatever you offer, do a test with it and include that person in it. You want to get them involved and engaged in unexpected ways. Sometimes when a customer fills out a feedback form and maybe would make a suggestion about, I think that Dove should release this scent with cucumber melon and the amber sensual scent mixed together. And you might be like, they're not going to read that. But imagine if they did and how that would make you feel, because they're hearing you. Again, going back to listening and hearing your customers and your clients. So Michael has a really good question, like how about a subscription, a cupcake of the month club? Do those work? Absolutely. You really moved me right into this next slide I just want to. So whenever we talk about those loyalty programs and incentives, Michael, you took it to the next step. You're like, okay, you can say, Michael, I want you to create a loyalty program, but for your business, what would that loyalty program look like? If you have a cupcake business like Wicked Good Cupcakes, a monthly club where someone would ship out a new flavor every month would probably excite their customers in a great way. So you want to create the loyalty program based off of, number one, you want to have that exclusive VIP kind of vibe to it, where people feel like they're a part of something special, something just for them, because they are loyal, because they are committed. We're inviting you into this club. But then we're so smart as small business owners. We're going back to the analytics. We're going back to their feedback form and creating this program based off of what they say. So your program can offer special discounts. You can do a birthday reward. For the Zori Beads, which is the local business that I'm an advocate for, every month she would do these launches for the birthday month. So the cool thing about it is she was so strategic in it to where we were all still spending money, because she puts a lot of effort into making these beads, but she would make a whole collection and show it to everyone. And it literally was like the Hunger Games, because some of the sets we all wanted. But if it was your birthday month, you got to shop first. In the first 15 minutes of a launch happening, it was exclusive for anybody whose birthday was in August. You were able to shop. So be creative and think about ways that make your customers actually engage. I mean, she created a little bit of competition in between us, and it makes you want to come back for more. I didn't get that bracelet set that I wanted because someone else stole it out of my cart. So now I'm waiting for the next time she'll launch something similar. Create meaning, create urgency and importance for your brand. So let's talk about these stats here about trusting word of mouth. 92% of consumers trust word of mouth recommendations over marketing. So what that says to me, get your customers talking about your business and your brand and how much they enjoy it. 37% higher retention rate of customers referred by other customers. So if I'm coming in by way of one of your previous customers, then there's a 37% retention rate. So not only have I secured the initial customer, but I also secured the one that was referred. The last thing I want to talk to you all about is advocacy. So we want to encourage advocacy. We talked about the loyalty programs and getting people to kind of stick around, but now we want them to advocate for us. So whenever we talk about advocacy, we want people to complete an online review, give a testimonial. If you have a service-based business, a case study is awesome. So make sure that whoever you worked with from start to end, you're able to create a case study that showcases how you took their business or their brand or whatever their consulting need was to this end point. Make sure that you include those referral programs and encourage people to share on social media. Those are ways that people can become advocates for you. We want to focus a little bit on reviews. For small businesses, like sometimes it's harder for us to offer free services or steep discounts. So if you have some ideas of what you can do, drop them in the chat and let us know. Also, like whenever we're thinking about reviews, if someone has received a great review for their business, let me know in the chat. Let me know about the review and how it made you feel. And if you leveraged that review to tell a story, because remember, marketing is about telling stories. So every single review that you receive, you can convert that into a story. If you have a review and it starts to make you get very sentimental, it might be wise to reach out to that customer, see if you can like have a one-on-one with them, talk to them more about, I'm telling you all, take the information, like Donald said in the beginning, use the resources that you have and leverage and maximize that thing all the way to the top. This slide you see here is encouraging you to get reviews with your Google business profile. Why? Because your Google business profile is your digital storefront. Number two, Google is the #1 search engine in the world. So you are getting people to leave reviews in the #1 search engine in the world about your business. That's where we want to be. Just giving you a couple tips on how to manage reviews. So whenever you're looking at reviews, you want to make sure you respond to them. The negative ones, you do not respond negatively, but you do respond in a way that is going to allow other people and hopefully even the commenter to see like, wow, they really are trying to resolve this. Again, you want to adhere to your brand culture and your story, even whenever you're responding to reviews. You do want to avoid offering incentives or advertisements in your reviews. Allow it to be a space that is respected, where people get to share their experience and you thank them for doing so, and that's it. So when we talk about who could be an advocate, we want to look at customers for sure, and we kind of already went through that. But you also want to look at employees and partners and vendors that are connected to your brand, as well as influencers and affiliates that are right now heavily on the social media side. Any of those people can be advocates for you. So I'm very curious, like who is a brand advocate for you? I want you all to make a list of who may be a good brand advocate for your brand. So we talked about customers. Think about your top customers. We talked about employees, vendors, contractors. Think about them. Write a list of those. And then we also talked about affiliate programs and influencers. Make a list. Maybe if you have 5 on each list, now you have, was that 15 different people that you can reach out to see if you can set up some type of brand advocate relationship. So I love that you all are dropping in the chat who can advocate for you. Again, that's likely your ideal customer, or they've been a customer before, so they can help you tell the story of marketing. We want our customers to help us tell the story. Here are some other tools that you can use for advocacy. You can use analytics software like Google Analytics. You can use client relationship management software. So that can maybe help you create feedback forms that you send out to your former clients or students, marketing software, customer experience software, and different affiliate programs. You can also use Google Forms if you don't have an active website or something. You can use Google Forms to create a feedback form where you can get them to share information and feedback with you. So I already told you all about creating your advocacy list. I want to encourage you to create an outline for your loyalty program. And I will do this the same way that I did it yesterday. So if you send me an outline for your loyalty program, I will add you in to the giveaway for August. So yesterday was the brand positioning statement, and I'm still accepting those. But today, in case someone wasn't here yesterday, you have the opportunity to send me an outline of your loyalty program. It doesn't have to be pages long. Tell me what you're thinking, how it will work. How does it benefit your customer? How does it benefit your business? And Vicki will go ahead and drop my email in there so you can send that over to me. I'll review everything, and within the first week of September, I will have a winner, but I will also respond to your emails that you send me over as well. So guys, we are at the end of our workshop, and unfortunately, I did not have too much time to like do a question and answer with you, but please let me know in the chat what you learned today and what you'll take away. But also, if you had a question that you really want answered, you can either drop it in the chat with your email address or just go ahead and email it to me directly. I will still be available to answer your questions in an email format since we don't have the time now. Just to recap, you will get the handout for today's workshop. And then Vicki has probably already dropped a ton of resources for you all, our certificates, our YouTube channel, as well as a link to our Grow with Google page. I just want to thank you all for giving me this platform today, for engaging with me so richly the way that you did. I want to thank Vicki for assisting and managing the chat. And I want to thank and hand it over to Janice and the Temple SBDC team for just being so great in having us and supporting us and connecting us with you all. So I want to thank you all today, and I'm going to hand it back over to Janice.
Well, I think we can all agree that Soleil and Vicki have done a fantastic job today and yesterday, and we just want to thank you both. If anyone has any questions, feel free to reach out to Soleil or Vicki or contact me at the Temple SBDC. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.